When people think about the hypercar world, they usually imagine a quiet and controlled industry where only a few powerful companies decide everything. Brands like Bugatti and Koenigsegg are known for building some of the fastest and most expensive cars in the world. These companies operate in a very exclusive space where only a small number of cars are made each year, and only very wealthy buyers can afford them. Because of this, the industry often looks stable from the outside. However, recently something unexpected happened that changed the conversation completely. A well-known automotive YouTuber, Mat Armstrong, became the center of attention after taking on a project that many experts believed was impossible. At the same time, Christian von Koenigsegg made a surprising move by reaching out to him. This created a strong reaction in the car community, especially because it seemed to go against the position of Mate Rimac. What started as a simple rebuild project quickly turned into a much bigger story about power, control, and the future of car ownership. The main issue began when a heavily damaged Bugatti Chiron Per Sport appeared in a normal workshop instead of a factory. This car is not just any vehicle. It is one of the most advanced machines ever built, designed with extreme precision and capable of reaching very high speeds. After an accident, the car was written off by insurance, and most people expected it to disappear from the road forever. But instead of letting that happen, the owner made a bold decision. He bought the damaged car back and asked a simple but powerful question. Can this car be rebuilt outside the official factory? That question alone was enough to start a major debate. Many people believe that rebuilding such a complex car without factory support would be too dangerous and nearly impossible. Hypercars are not like normal cars. They are built using advanced materials like carbon fiber, and they contain highly complex systems that connect every part of the vehicle. Even small mistakes can lead to serious problems, especially at high speeds. Because of this, manufacturers usually want full control over repairs. When Mat Armstrong accepted the challenge, he knew it would not be easy. His reputation was built on restoring damaged supercars. But this project was on a completely different level. As the rebuild started, it became clear just how difficult the task really was. The car had to be taken apart piece by piece, and every step revealed new challenges. At the same time, Bugatti made it clear that they would not support the project. They refused to provide parts, tools, or technical guidance. This decision raised many questions in the community. Some people supported Bugatti, saying that safety should always come first. Others believe that if someone owns a car, they should have the right to repair it however they choose. This disagreement quickly spread online, turning a single rebuild project into a global discussion. What made the situation even more interesting was the unexpected involvement of Koenigsegg. Unlike Bugatti, Koenigsegg seemed open to engaging with independent creators. When Christian von Koenigsegg reached out to Mat Armstrong, it sent a strong message. It suggested that not all manufacturers think the same way about control and collaboration. This moment created a clear contrast between two different philosophies in the hypercar world. On one side, there is strict control and protection of brand image. On the other side, there is openness, innovation, and a willingness to connect with the community. This contrast is what made the story so powerful and so important. It is no longer just about one car or one rebuild. It is about the future of the entire industry and the relationship between manufacturers and the people who support their products. As the rebuild of the Bugatti Chiron Per Sport moved forward inside a normal workshop, the true scale of the challenge began to reveal itself in ways that surprised even experienced car enthusiasts. Mat Armstrong and his team did not just face a damaged car. They faced a machine built with layers of advanced engineering that are usually only handled inside controlled factory environments. The process started with removing damaged exterior parts, but it quickly became clear that this was only the beginning. Panels that looked simple from the outside were actually complex carbon fiber structures, carefully designed to provide both strength and lightweight. Each piece had to be removed with extreme care to avoid causing more damage. As more parts came off, hidden problems began to appear, and one of the most serious concerns was around the gearbox area, where cracks suggested deeper structural damage. This kind of issue is not easy to fix, especially without official support. In most cases, a problem like this would mean sending the car back to the manufacturer, but that option was not available here. Instead, The team had to rely on their own skills, experience, and problem-solving ability. One of the biggest moments in the rebuild came when it became necessary to separate the car into two major sections. In hypercars like this, the front and rear are not just connected by a few simple bolts. They are linked through a network of systems, including electrical wiring, coolant lines, hydraulic systems, and mechanical components. Taking them apart requires careful planning and deep understanding. Before even touching the main structural bolts, the team had to disconnect everything that connected the two halves. This included draining fluids, removing the battery, disconnecting the prop shaft, and carefully unplugging large wiring systems that ran to the carbon fiber structure. Every step carried risk, because one mistake could damage parts that are extremely expensive or impossible to replace. What made this situation even more intense was the fact that Bugatti had clearly stated that such work should not be done outside specialized facilities. Mat Armstrong had publicly explained that hypercars like the Chiron are built with such precision that even trained technicians require special tools and factory-level equipment to perform major repairs safely. According to this view, independent rebuild efforts could lead to hidden safety risks, especially when dealing with critical components like the carbon fiber monocoque or the high-performance drivetrain. Despite these warnings, the rebuild continued step by step, and each successful action began to challenge the idea that such work was impossible outside the factory. When the team finally started removing the titanium bolts that held the two halves of the car together, it marked a turning point in the project. These bolts are not ordinary fasteners. They are designed to handle extreme stress, while keeping the car as light as possible. Removing them without damaging the surrounding structure required patience and precision. When the first bolt came out successfully, it was a small but powerful moment, showing that progress was real. As more bolts were removed, the idea of separating a multi-million-dollar hypercar inside a normal garage became less of a theory and more a reality. This stage of the rebuild captured the attention of viewers around the world, not just because of the technical difficulty, but because of what it represented. It showed that independent creators, with enough knowledge and determination, could attempt tasks that were once limited to manufacturers. At the same time, it also raised important questions about safety, responsibility, and control. While some people saw this as proof of human skill and innovation, others worried about the risks involved. This tension between possibility and risk became a central theme in the story, pushing the debate far beyond just one car. It was no longer only about whether the rebuild could be completed, but about what it meant for the future of the automotive industry and the balance of power between creators and corporations as the rebuild project continued to gain attention. The discussion around it began to grow far beyond just mechanics and engineering. What started as a technical challenge inside a workshop quickly turned into a global debate about ownership, control, and the future of the automotive world. At the center of this debate was a position taken by Bugatti and its CEO, Mat Armstrong, who made it clear that the company would not support the independent rebuild of the Bugatti Chiron per Sport. His statements focused heavily on safety, explaining that hypercars are not designed to be repaired outside of highly controlled environments. According to him, these cars are built using extremely precise engineering standards, and even small mistakes during repairs could lead to serious risks when the vehicle is driven at high speeds. This argument made sense to many people, especially those who understand how complex modern hypercars really are. These machines are not just fast cars. They are highly advanced systems where every component works together in a carefully balanced way. However, not everyone agreed with Bugatti's position. Many people in the automotive community began to question whether safety was the only reason behind the company's strict control over repairs. Some believed that there was a deeper issue related to control over parts and services. If manufacturers refuse to sell parts or provide support, then owners may have no choice but to depend entirely on official service centers, which can be extremely expensive. This raised an important question. If someone buys a car, do they truly own it, or does the manufacturer still control what can be done with it? This question is not limited to hypercars. It connects to a much larger global discussion known as the right to repair, which affects many industries, including electronics, farming equipment, and consumer technology. In this case, the rebuild project became a powerful example of that debate in the automotive world. While Mat Armstrong continued working on the car, supporters began to see the project as more than just entertainment. It became a symbol of independent effort and the idea that skilled individuals should have a freedom to repair and understand the machines they own. At the same time, critics remained concerned about the risks. They pointed out that hypercars like the Chiron are capable of extreme speeds, and any hidden weakness in the structure or systems could lead to dangerous situations. This made the debate more complex because both sides had valid points. Safety is important, but so is the freedom to repair and innovate. As the discussion grew, more voices joined in, including engineers, mechanics, and online commentators. Some highlighted specific examples, such as the high cost of replacement parts, including headlights, which became a topic of public interest. While rumors had exaggerated the price, even the real cost remained extremely high, showing how expensive it is to maintain such vehicles. Others pointed out that not all parts are directly related to safety. Items like trim pieces, lights, or cosmetic panels could potentially be sold without affecting the structural integrity of the car. This argument suggested that manufacturers could find a middle ground, where safety-critical components remain controlled, but less critical parts are made available to independent builders. As all of this was happening, another important development added a new layer to the story. Koenigsegg, led by Christian von Koenigsegg, appeared to take a very different approach. By reaching out to Mat Armstrong, Koenigsegg signaled a level of openness that stood in clear contrast to Bugatti's position. This action was not just about sending merchandise or making a simple connection. It represented a different philosophy, one that values engagement with the community and recognizes the role of independent creators in spreading knowledge and passion for cars. This contrast between two major manufacturers created a powerful narrative. On one side, there is strict control and protection of brand and safety. On the other side, there is openness, curiosity, and collaboration. This difference made the story even more interesting and gave people a reason to think more deeply about where the industry might be heading in the future. While the debate between Bugatti and independent builders continued to grow, the unexpected involvement of Koenigsegg added a completely new dimension to the story. The decision by Christian von Koenigsegg to reach out to Mat Armstrong was not just a small gesture. It carried symbolic meaning that many people in the automotive world quickly recognized. Unlike traditional manufacturers that often keep a strict distance from independent rebuilders, Koenigsegg has built a reputation around innovation, curiosity, and direct engagement with enthusiasts. This approach reflects the personality of its founder, who has always been known for asking bold questions and challenging industry norms. From the early days of the company, Koenigsegg has focused on pushing boundaries, whether through advanced engineering solutions or unique ways of thinking about performance and design. This mindset made the connection with Armstrong feel natural, because his content also focuses on understanding how machines work rather than simply showcasing luxury or speed. His videos often go deep into the technical side of cars, explaining systems, solving problems, and documenting every step of the rebuild process. This educational style aligns closely with Koenigsegg's engineering-driven identity. As a result, many observers saw this interaction as more than just a marketing move. It looked like a meeting of two similar philosophies, both centered around curiosity, knowledge, and a desire to explore what is possible. At the same time, this moment created a strong contrast with the position taken by mate Rimac. While Bugatti emphasized control, safety, and the need for factory-level repairs, Koenigsegg's gesture suggested a more open attitude toward the broader automotive community. This contrast quickly became a major talking point online, with people comparing the two approaches and discussing which one might be better for the future of the industry. Some believe that Koenigsegg's openness could help inspire a new generation of engineers and creators by making advanced technology feel more accessible. Others argue that hypercars are too complex and valuable to risk through independent work, and that strict control is necessary to maintain safety and quality. Despite these different opinions, one thing became clear. The relationship between manufacturers and independent creators is changing. In the past, companies controlled most of the information about their vehicles, and only official technicians had access to detailed knowledge. Today, platforms like YouTube have given creators the ability to share complex technical content with millions of viewers around the world. This shift has reduced the gap between professionals and enthusiasts, allowing more people to learn about advanced engineering concepts. In this environment, companies can no longer ignore the influence of creators like Mat Armstrong. Instead, they must decide how to respond. Some may choose to maintain strict control, while others may see an opportunity to connect with a wider audience. Koenigsegg appears to be exploring the second path, using openness as a way to strengthen its brand and share its passion for engineering. There are also practical possibilities that could come from this connection. For example, Armstrong could be invited to visit Koenigsegg's production facility in Sweden, where he could document the process of building hypercars from start to finish. This would provide viewers with a rare behind-the-scenes look at one of the most advanced manufacturing environments in the world. Another possibility is that he could test or review a Koenigsegg car, offering his unique perspective as someone who understands both driving and mechanical systems. Even more interesting is the idea of a collaborative project, where independent rebuilding skills meet factory-level engineering knowledge. While such a partnership would be unusual, it could represent a new direction for the industry, where boundaries between manufacturers and creators become less rigid. All of these possibilities highlight how important this moment is. It is not just about one message or one interaction. It is about the potential for change in how companies and individuals work together, and how knowledge about advanced technology is shared with the world. As the story continued to evolve, attention began to shift toward one of the most fascinating aspects of Koenigsegg, its advanced engineering philosophy, and the groundbreaking technologies it has developed over the years. At the center of this innovation is Christian von Koenigsegg, whose approach to building cars has always been different from traditional manufacturers. Instead of following established industry patterns, he focuses on questioning them. This mindset has led to the creation of some of the most unique and powerful automotive technologies in the world. One of the most talked about developments is the so-called dark matter electric motor, a compact yet extremely powerful system designed to push the limits of what electric performance can achieve. To understand why this technology is important, it helps to first look at the challenges faced by modern electric vehicles. Many electric motors are either designed for high speed or high torque, but not both at the same time. This creates a trade-off that limits overall performance. Koenigsegg engineers wanted to solve this problem by combining different design principles into a single system. The result was a new concept known as axial flux, which blends the characteristics of radial flux and axial flux motor designs. In simple terms, this allows the motor to deliver both strong acceleration and high-speed performance without the usual compromises. What makes this even more impressive is the size and weight of the motor. Despite being relatively small and lightweight, it is capable of producing an enormous amount of power, reaching figures that are normally associated with much larger systems. This kind of efficiency is not just about speed. It also improves energy use, allowing vehicles to perform better while using less power. Another key feature of this technology is its advanced control system. Unlike traditional electric setups that use three-phase power, Koenigsegg developed a six-phase system that provides smoother operation and better reliability. By distributing electrical load across more pathways, the system reduces heat and improves performance consistency. This is especially important in high-performance applications, where managing heat is one of the biggest challenges. In addition to this, the company uses advanced inverters that can make rapid adjustments to power delivery based on real-time conditions, such as driver input, road grip, and system temperature. All of these elements work together to create a highly responsive and efficient system that can deliver extreme performance without sacrificing control or safety. The development of such technology shows why Koenigsegg is often seen as an engineering-focused brand rather than just a luxury car manufacturer. This focus on innovation also helps explain why the company might be interested in connecting with creators like Mat Armstrong. His work is not just about driving cars. It is about understanding them, taking them apart, and explaining how they function. This aligns closely with Koenigsegg's philosophy of exploring and sharing knowledge. By contrast, the approach taken by Bugatti under mate Rimac emphasizes control, precision, and the importance of maintaining strict standards through official channels. Both approaches have their strengths. Bugatti's method ensures that every car meets exact safety and performance requirements, while Koenigsegg's openness encourages innovation and community engagement. As these two philosophies continue to be discussed, the automotive world is beginning to see that there may not be a single correct answer. Instead, the future could involve a balance between control and creativity, where manufacturers protect critical systems while still allowing room for independent exploration. The connection between Koenigsegg and Armstrong highlights this possibility and suggests that the industry may be entering a new phase, where collaboration and knowledge share become more important than ever before as the rebuild project of the Bugatti Chiron Sport continued to move forward. It became clear that the outcome of this story would have a lasting impact far beyond a single car or a single creator. What began as a bold decision by an owner and a challenge accepted by Mat Armstrong had now grown into a powerful symbol of a changing industry. On one side, there is a traditional approach represented by Bugatti and its leadership under mate Rimac, where strict control, safety, and brand protection are treated as top priorities. This approach is built on years of experience and a deep understanding of how complex and potentially dangerous hypercars can be when not handled correctly. From this perspective, limiting access to parts and repair processes is not about control for its own sake, but about ensuring that every vehicle remains safe and performs exactly as designed. On the other side, there's a growing movement that values independence, creativity, and the right to explore and repair machines without restrictions. This side is represented not only by creators like Mat Armstrong, but also by the support and openness shown by Koenigsegg and its founder Christian von Koenigsegg. Their willingness to engage with the community suggests a different vision for the future, one where knowledge is shared more freely and where passionate individuals are seen as partners rather than outsiders. As these two perspectives continue to collide, the rebuild itself becomes a kind of real-world test. Every step completed by Armstrong's team challenges the idea that such work can only be done inside a factory. At the same time, every difficulty they face serves as a reminder of why manufacturers have strict standards in the first place. This balance between possibility and limitation is what makes the story so compelling. It is not a simple case of one side being right and the other being wrong. Instead, it is a complex situation where both sides bring important ideas to the table. The outcome of this rebuild will likely influence how future projects are approached, not just by independent creators, but also by manufacturers who are watching closely. If the project succeeds, it could encourage more openness in the industry, leading to greater access to parts, information, and collaboration. It could also inspire a new generation of engineers and builders who see that even the most advanced machines can be understood and repaired with enough dedication and skill. On the other hand, if the project faces serious problems or fails to meet safety expectations, it could strengthen the argument for strict manufacturer control and reinforce the idea that hypercars require specialized environments for proper maintenance. Beyond the technical and business aspects, there's also a human element to this story. It highlights the power of curiosity, determination, and the desire to push boundaries. Christian von Koenigsegg himself is known for starting with simple questions and turning them into groundbreaking innovations. And in many ways, the rebuild project reflects a similar spirit. It is driven by the belief that challenges are meant to be explored, not avoided. At the same time, it reminds us that progress often comes from the tension between different ideas, where debate and disagreement lead to new ways of thinking. As the automotive world continues to evolve, stories like this will become more common, especially as technology becomes more complex and access to information continues to grow. The line between professional and independent work is becoming less clear, and companies must decide how to adapt to this new reality. Whether through collaboration, control, or a combination of both, the decisions made today will shape the future of the industry for years to come. In the end, this is not just a story about a damaged hypercar or a viral rebuild project. It is a story about change, about the balance between safety and freedom, and about how innovation can come from both inside and outside traditional systems. As viewers and enthusiasts continue to watch this journey unfold, one question remains at the center of it all. Will this project prove that the impossible can be achieved outside the factory, or will it confirm that some machines are simply too advanced to be handled without the support of those who created them? The answer to that question will define not just this rebuild, but the future direction of the hypercar world itself.